Well, our first guest this week is joining us direct from Miami, Mr. Jeffrey Binder. He is the chairman and CEO of a company called CLS Holdings USA Incorporated. CLSH is their stock symbol. Jeffrey, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you, Don. It's good to be back.
Now, CLS Holdings USA Incorporated describes itself as the gold standard in cannabis extraction and conversion. Can you give us a general overview of the company, please?
Sure. We start from a scientific approach, and what makes us the gold standard is our methodology. We start by testing. We have a full lab, and we test the raw plant materials to see what they contain, and we do extensive testing. Without testing, you don't know what is contained within the plant to start with and what you might need to extract from the plant, such as pesticides or even heavy metals. Once having tested the plant, we have a proprietary process which is closest to a chemical process of doing our extraction and conversion. And because of our methodology, we're able to get a cleaner finished product with more Delta-9 THC. So that gives the people that we are processing for an advantage over other processing that they may have been using.
Well, Jeffrey, as you mentioned, and reminded me of a conversation we had off the air wherein you said there are three methods of cannabis extraction: butane, CO2, and the chemistry method. Can you go into more detail about the benefits or disadvantages of each?
Certainly. Butane was the first method of extraction. That's the one where kids are blowing themselves up. They now have systems in place for commercial use, but they're still dangerous. And more importantly, when using butane for extraction, there is a residue of carcinogenic materials. So therefore, we are advocating that people not use, and in fact that butane be outlawed as a method of extraction. The second method of extraction is CO2. It's a good method of extraction, except that it uses high amounts of water. In places like California and Nevada, where water is gold, we would want to try and preserve water. The other thing it does is it disrupts the terpenes, and the terpenes, which used to be thought to only be for taste, really have much more benefit. They activate other aspects of the plant materials and therefore are very important. The third method is what we call a chemistry method. The most widely used chemical is something called ethanol. Ethanol is highly explosive. Ethanol you have to clean out at the end of the process. We've developed something proprietary other than ethanol that is not explosive and that gives us a much cleaner finished product. And that's why we say that our scientific approach we believe to be the best approach.
Well, we are experiencing a true social and legal phenomenon, the ending of prohibition with respect to cannabis. This represents a tremendous opportunity for your company, doesn't it?
It represents not only a tremendous opportunity for our company, but also for the industry as a whole. We need to develop uniform standards for testing and get acceptance by the general public, and an understanding that cannabis is much more than a plant to get a euphoric high off of. The medical properties that the plant offers us, we're just beginning to understand and explore. And that's really where we're positioning our company, is to study the plant and see the medical benefits that we can derive from the plant and make those available to the public in a very safe form. And that is our mission and our goal as a company.
Now, the company sees your current Colorado operation as a one-stop shop for extraction and conversion, which can be replicated in other states as legalization continues. Tell us more about that.
Sure. We're in the process of, we just got our CO for what will be the grow for the extraction facility. We will have the extraction facility up and running the first quarter of next year, the end of the first quarter of next year, beginning of the second quarter. What we're doing there, we will be replicating in other states. Our next place will be Las Vegas, Nevada, and after that, Seattle, Washington. What makes us unique is what you alluded to. We are a one-stop shop. So as brands become known within areas or states, and there is no interstate shipment at this time of cannabis, and they want to move from state to state, we will be able to provide not only the plant materials, but we'll be able to do extraction and conversion, give them a quality product with consistency, and even do their packaging for them, and then deliver them a finished product so that then they can market and sell their brand in each state where we locate one of our facilities.
Well, the company says it expects to be processing about 1,000 pounds per month within 6 months, with the ability to expand that to 10,000 pounds monthly, utilizing 2 work shifts. That's exciting growth.
That's very exciting growth. We expect to be doing 1,000 pounds a month. That would be after 6 months of operation, which would be starting at the end of the first quarter. We expect that to grow dramatically. Right now, the oil industry only represents 10 to 15%, depending on the state, of the total sales of cannabis. But it is the fastest growing segment of the industry, and it is expected that within 5 years it will represent over 50% of all sales within the industry. So I think we're positioned to take advantage of that growth, and we're excited about the opportunity.
CLS Holdings USA Incorporated, CLSH is their stock symbol. Jeffrey, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at your company?
Well, like any company in a new industry, as the industry matures and as the company matures and there's more recognition, of course, we would anticipate that the stock price would reflect. If you look at our company, if you go to our website and explore all of the opportunities that I just touched on here, you'll see that we consider ourselves the best company positioned to take advantage of the growth in the marketplace. Again, from a scientific, that's very important, from a scientific vantage point. So we would expect that once we're revenue positive, which should be, again, the second or third quarter of next year, that more people will recognize the opportunity, and of course the stock price would reflect the same. So if people go to our website and they see the advantages that we as a company believe that we possess in the marketplace, then now is the time to invest.
CLS Holdings USA Incorporated, CLSH is their stock symbol. Jeffrey, this has been a fascinating discussion, a real education. Thanks so much for joining us.
Don, thank you so much for the opportunity. We look forward to speaking to you in the future.